Can I help you at all?
I think I'll be all right, thank you.
Just give me a shout if you need anything.
Okay. Where else but Oddbins? A casual treasure trove of offbeat bargain bottles. The scruffy, underpaid and overeducated sales staff. The lines, lines and more lines. Not just the exceptional range, but all these handwritten notes and Stedman's anarchic cartoons. Mecca for Britain's growing band of true, new wine fanatics. Oddbins works hard at its rough guide to wine image, but in fact it's a subsidiary of the world's largest spirits company, the mighty Seagram of North America, and therefore a distant cousin of Universal Studios in Hollywood, and a not-so-distant one to brands such as Martell Cognac, Glenlivet Scotch, Mumm Champagne, Sandeman's Ports and Sherries, all of which get a special push in Oddbins shops. Perhaps not quite so casual after all. Steve Daniel has come up through the ranks, and at 39 is in charge of both buying and selling. If anyone personifies Oddbins, he does.
We try to do everything to demystify wine. We want more people to enjoy wine. We don't want to put the barricades up, we want to break them down. That's our clarion call, if you like.
They're certainly very idiosyncratic, aren't they, your staff?
Yes, and that's not really something that we set out and said, right, this is the blueprint for an Oddbins member of staff. I think we attract people who are slightly unconventional, if you like. I think that's why we're all doing it. We all couldn't fit into a normal 9 till 5, and we find that throughout the company, that people are almost like misfits.
Because you don't pay them particularly well.
No, I don't think anybody in the wine trade gets paid particularly well, but they do it because they have that sense of freedom that they can actually contribute something. And there's no dress code. We don't say you have to turn up in a suit and tie or whatever. You can turn up how you like, with a Mohican haircut if you want.
Yeah, I always find that they treat me like absolute dirt, actually.
Well, that's not... we don't insist on that.
You've all got this sort of manic glint in your eyes to persuade people to drink wine, and yet this is all to the benefit of an enormous North American company rather than to an individual.
Well, we've never seen it really like that. There are sort of corporate sponsors, if you like, but we've always seen it as our company. It's definitely ours.
But you have to stock the company brands, don't you?
Not all of them, actually. Not all of them. We have the final say, because there's no point in having a company brand if it doesn't sell. And they're quite happy with that.
So which one did you have to drop?
No, there are some.
You talk about turning everyone onto wine. I mean, do you see yourself as some sort of evangelist, the Reverend Steve Daniel in his mission?
It comes across that way a little bit, but I suppose there is a bit of that in it. Yeah, it is almost a mission that we have in life. Yeah, it frightens some people, but we want people to try something a bit different and something that might really change their life. Like when I did it, you know, and suddenly tasted a wine that suddenly I thought, that's what it's all about. You know, it'd be nice if more people did that, really. Basically, in the past, wine has been seen as something for the upper classes. What we want to do is say, well, wine is for everyone.
At the Balmoral Hotel in Edinburgh, Oddbins hold their annual Scottish wine fair. There's one in London too. They're a chance for customers to get to grips with wine suppliers and for Oddbins to get to grips with their customers. The spittoons are mainly cosmetic.
Something really pretty. This is too...
So bloody difficult to get a decent bar of this drinking these days.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That one is so big.
Wow.
I knew that wine when it was a bud.
To some of the people who come along to your wine fairs, it's really just a glorified booze-up, isn't it?
Well, no, actually.
Don't tell my wife.
You've certainly got a reputation for being very tough with your suppliers.
I think we're quite tough, yeah, but we like to think that we're fair.
You bully people to sell wine to you much cheaper than to the supermarket sometimes.
I persuade them to sell cheaper. I don't bully anybody. It's not in my nature, for sure.
I've seen you sitting at these trade fairs looking very, very, very threatening, but no.
It's a facade.
The high point of the Scottish event is something very un-Oddbins. A Cèilidh in the assembly rooms for Oddbins staff and the visiting wine producers. We were only allowed to stay for the first hour, although personally I was heartily relieved.
No, thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Never.
Never, never, ever, ever. Sorry.
And I think Steve was relieved too. At Oddbins' less than glamorous headquarters in Wimbledon, I joined Steve and one of his wine-buying colleagues in the company's nerve centre, the tasting room.
That's quite interesting.
The main work is emptying the wine racks, which can fill up with unsolicited samples in a week. I want to try this one, the Armani. I think that's just absolutely the wine for you, Steve.
It looks nice. See what it tastes like. Been in some oak somewhere along the line. Not too bad, as long as it hasn't got an Armani price tag on it. Yeah.
So all these wines would just be sent in on spec?
The vast majority, yeah. Sometimes we do ask for samples to be sent in, but the vast majority of what comes through the tasting room every week is totally unsolicited. And very often we don't know where on earth it's come from, and there's no price or anything, so...
Aren't you tempted just to ignore them or give them to the village fete or something?
Well, we could do, but then you never know where that little gem is hiding. Well, that's sparkling.
It's been fizzing since it's opened.
And I don't think it's supposed to be. That's quite interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Your decision. Sorry,
No,
sorry.
no. I agree with you, Jancis. I quite like that one.
Do you haul in your competitors' wines and have a bit of a laugh at them?
We get our competitors' wines in, yeah. And sometimes we laugh. Not all the time. Smells stale again.
Don't think you want.
I'm not going to taste that one, I'm afraid.
I could imagine one of your competitors listening to you and thinking, oh, isn't he smug?
They probably do.
Meeting a man who travels the world tasting wine and writing about it. Hard Life Vintners Tales is back next Thursday at 10:15 here on BBC Two.